This is a dock and a stand for the Apple Mac Mini M4. As you can see, it's called the Orico MiniDock Desktop Stand. I reviewed it on my channel about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and it's okay, but it's probably not the best option out there. This retails at around $50 or so, and it is quite versatile in a way because you've got this internal SSD underneath, and that allows you to put up to an 8TB SSD in there. But it's kind of limited in a way. We've got a 5V USB Type-C port here, and you don't need to use that if you're only using these ports. That's really there so that you've got enough power to power the SSD and these ports. This cable here is for connecting to ideally the 10 gigabits per second Type-C port on your Mac Mini, but you can see in the picture here, and this is something I demonstrated in my review, this cable isn't long enough to actually connect up to those ports. So you have to put it a different way, and when you put it a different way, well, it blocks the power button, it puts it underneath here. So it's a little bit of a bizarre design because it looks like it's trying to, resolve that power button issue, which the Apple Mac Mini M4 has, but as you can see, that cable, it does connect, it does reach up there, but it's a very tight squeeze. Now, as far as the port selection goes here, again, it's kind of limited. You've got a headphone jack, which you don't need because the Mac Mini has one at the front. And then we've got 2 Type-A ports, and then we've got the micro SD card slot and the SD card slot. Now, it's always good to have these. Those are useful, but these are SD card 3 compatible, UHS 1, not UHS 2. So they're supporting a very old SD card and micro SD card standard. So you're kind of limited to like 100 megabytes per second. So it's not practical for most people that would be buying this type of product. So what you've got here is 2 Type-A ports. So in essence, if you use this, you will get an internal SSD, you will get a stand, but in many ways you're exchanging your 10 gigabits per second Type-C port for 2 10 gigabits per second Type-A ports. Now here's my issue with that. That's great, it's great to have more Type-A ports, but the reality is that there's not a lot of Type-A connections out there that do require 10 gigabits per second. Most of the solid state drives and hard drives, etc., that do have 10 gigabits per second connections typically have a Type-C connection. So I think it would be more practical here to have more Type-A ports, for your mice and for your keyboard, etc. So check my full review to learn more about it and see all my tests. But yeah, it's a mixed bag, but it does the job, and some of you may find this useful.